Hello and welcome to the second training in our Google Analytics training. And this one is going to stretch your brain a bit, but like anything that's a little bit challenging, just because it's that little bit challenging, it's going to put a little bit of distance between you and the next business, because if they don't get over this learning curve and implement this strategy, they're not going to have as good data as you would. So what UTMs do, UTMs customize your traffic so you can read it and it makes sense to you. And what that does is that answers some of your key questions. Now, some of the questions that I get asked is, Irene, I don't know, is my LinkedIn bringing me the people that convert, or is my YouTube, or is it Facebook, or is it my emails doing it? And if you don't track it properly, it's going to be a little bit of guessing, and guessing is never going to get you a good, consistent result. And that is how a business grows, when you can make little actions, little decisions that helps you move the needle in your business. So that is why building the UTMs, which helps you structure your way of tracking the media, the call to actions, and the channels, the traffic, the reading of the information from these different sources into your website, your blog, your call to action page, your landing page, your services page, your e-commerce store, like your retargeting campaigns and your abandoned cart, etc., etc. You want to be tracking that. What did they look at and why did they convert? And did they see a LinkedIn post or a Facebook post or an Instagram post before they converted? Did that contribute to you seeing goals or conversions happening? So just remember, UTMs are used only for external traffic coming into your business. You do not ever need to put UTMs on any of your buttons, links, anything like that, because analytics out of the box will track that. In a basic level, there's next level advanced, but what we're talking about is how you can do this kind of tracking without having to pay someone like me to do it for you. And if you do this right and implement it over the period of your business from either start or the day that you learn this and you really roll it out, then what you're doing is you're probably saving yourself between $1,000 to $2,000 by doing this work, setting up the framework and getting some clean data coming into your business. Not only from that point of view, but the fact that you'll have some clear insights on which image and which call to action that you wrote that made them convert, that struck a chord, that hit a nerve. And that's what you want to know about your audience. You want to know what resonates with my niche market. What makes them act? What makes them stick? And when you know that, you can do more of that. You can take the conversation further and have permission to do so because you keep on listening and improving, And that's the whole point of making sure your tracking is set up correctly. Okay, so that is the why we do UTMs. Now let's get into the how. And don't feel like, oh, I don't get it the first time around. Oh, I must be stupid, or no, I'm not meant for this. Nothing I have ever done did I pick up on the first video. Some of the more complex things, I'm still going back and looking and relearning and finding something that I missed the second, third, or fourth time. So watch it over and over again, journal it, do it. Watch it, make some notes, do it. It's when you actually implement it that the lessons sink in. So don't constantly write all these mind maps out. You need to actually make it happen. Do some. Don't worry, we've got a couple of tools that are going to make it really easy. I'm going to tell you my preference, and then you can choose what's good for your kind of working pattern. So the whole point of setting up UTMs, because I want you to be invested, so you're going to stick with me through the curly stuff. You need to know what information do you need to make better decisions. And this is the whole point of UTMs, is it helps you tell your traffic story. You want to know, what does my Facebook traffic do? Does emails and Google Ads contribute to the conversion from people who originally came from Facebook? Does my Facebook traffic make my customers sign up for my newsletter? Does my Google traffic actually spend a lot of time on my website? Is paid working for me? Is paid on Google working for me? Is paid on Facebook better? You want to know that. So especially when you're getting up to that level of spending money on content marketing people and on paid ads, you definitely want to UTM all your campaigns. There's different UTMs for Google Ads, and your agency or Google Ads person should be doing that for you. So make sure you ask that question. It is a different what I'm showing you today, but it's definitely useful to find out interesting insights about what people are doing from which campaign. So what you are looking at testing is the graphics, the headlines, the buttons, and what you are looking for is signs of life from your traffic. You want to see, are they looking, are they interested, and are they invested? I have a marker for interested as being 10 seconds and scrolling activity on a page. Invested means they've made contact or downloaded something and given me their email address in some capacity. That's invested. Or made a sale. Invested is made a sale. That's when they've done. There's a couple of other steps in that, but that's telling you what kind of traffic is that. Are they just looking? Are they interested? Or are they invested? And when you know which traffic does what, you can do that every day till Sunday. So what is the structure of a UTM? A UTM is made up of these 5 elements. Campaign is the product or service that you offer in your business, and these are pretty consistent. You don't normally change these because these are just the services that you offer in your business, whether it's a product or a service or both. Put that in your campaign list. Now I'm just going to show you something here. This is one of the tools. Different tracking guys have their own version of it. This is my head coach, and he's the best in the States in what he does. And so he's set this up as a template for us to use and given us a little bit of a, a little bit of a run through of what that is. So your campaigns are your products or services. So if you sell coffee mugs, it could be a coffee mug, or it could be skirts, or it could be dresses, or it could be etc. When you've got a lot of products, put the category in there. You can segment, you can find there's a different way of doing actual shopping campaign tracking that I'm not going to go into in this one, but just put the category in there or the particular offer that you're doing. So that is your campaign. So this should stay the same all the time. And these should stay the same all the time. So these are your traffic sources that you're using, and you use the brand name in this one. So Facebook, Google, YouTube, Infusionsoft, Active, whatever your software stack is made up of to bring traffic to your site, and that being your social media stack as well. And then the medium lets us know, was it a share? Was it something that you grabbed a blog, you put the UTM link behind it, and you posted out to your Facebook or LinkedIn group, and you shared it that way? Or was it a paid campaign? Or was it an email campaign? Was it from an affiliate? Was it webinar? Was it podcast? Or was it video, etc.? So that's what medium means in that one. These, once you set it up, especially for your business, they stay the same. Yeah, once you're understanding of how to write it your way, but follow this template and it'll keep it really clear. This is where you do your A/B testing elements. So term is searched in the secondary dimension in Google Analytics under keyword, and UTM content is searched as a secondary dimension under add content. Don't worry, I will show you that coming up and I'll repeat what it means. So this is usually your call to action, your hook, your how am I going to, because you want to be able to track something that's going to be relevant for you, especially if it's a way to identify product to audience. So if you did a call to action and it was in your email medium and you put this call to action being this And you can track it and you'll see whether it's engaged or interested or invested in your content. So you want to be able to easily connect the dots. So don't make it too complicated. And then your content is usually your image or your email number. So I've written it out here so you get an example. So the product or service for me, Rumble Media, is a retainer for Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, and Google Data Studio. That's an ongoing monthly business service, which would most likely be shared in LinkedIn, blogs, and MailChimp in my email. So I would do a post outlining the benefit of it, and my call to action for that benefit will be ready to find. My image that I want to test is computer spyglass image. Whereas in my blogs, I will write about, I'll have something about the power of data, and then it'll be a rocket with a data image, and that's what I want to test and see if that works. I don't know if that was a good example there, because that might actually confuse you a bit, because you might think that it's something you do within your own blog. So I'll do video. And I'd have a tutorial. That would be more me. I'd do a tutorial video. And then MailChimp, because that I think is just open to misinterpretation. So just ignore that. That's probably better to just say YouTube video. Yeah, YouTube. And then it'll be video share or just video or share. And then over here, I would have the actual video detail, the name of the video. And then the term will be whatever the title of the video is. And then this one in MailChimp will be the title of the email. And then I will have image, number of email, and which sequence it was in. So then for me, when I'm going through it, and you will initially start good with your naming conventions on how you're going to track things, and then get better if you find a better way for your team on how to track it. Now, this is the whole reason for doing UTMs, and it's going to take you, depending on how much traffic you get on a month-to-month basis in your website, it's going to take you a little while to start seeing some really cool data, maybe 60 days, maybe 90 days. But what you are going to see, information. So this is where UTMs are shown in campaigns. The campaign is a product service. And then under here, if this is set up correctly, which it isn't, you will have many sources coming to it. Right now, all we're seeing is Google paid. But you could have, to this product, you could have emails, you could have YouTube, and there would be a whole list of source mediums. And then you'd be able to check, oh, you know what? This is doing really well from this source. So then you will know that my engaged people come from this source medium. My interested people come from this source medium. And then you know what to do when you are talking to this particular audience and you want to make them aware of a product, and you want to take them through the full cycle of aware to engaged to converted. So that is how you will use this to map the campaigns that you're doing, email or paid. So, but it's down here in this particular one that you would like to see. You're going to see a lot of this cool data coming from UTM over a 90-day period. As you're going to see, you've got assisted conversions, the value, last click, etc. And you're going to see along here, when this is set up correctly, you're going to see where in here they helped. Like, you're going to have multiple, but because this isn't set up properly, I can't give you a demonstration. And the clients I have set it up properly for, they're yet to have at least 90 days data, so I can test it for you. But it is starting to look really cool. So then what you're going to have is you're going to be able to see that Facebook, email, and LinkedIn is what assisted my conversion. So therefore, those three are my go-tos when I'm pushing out content. And what was the content? What was the keyword? And then who was the audience, etc. And you can just go in and find some really cool data. This is something that I think we need to cover in a group catch-up of looking at your data. But to be in that group catch-up, you actually need some data to discuss. So you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to build your UTMs and start populating some really cool data from the activities that you're doing online. And for a lot of businesses, what you're going to find is email is going to be a pretty important player in getting people down the funnel and to convert in your business. You get better data, you make better decisions, you answer better questions. And then as you get better with implementing it, you can ask better and better questions where you are doing a 13-week forecast. You are saying that you're going to do this and it's going to happen here because you've got all this historical data that will allow you to do this kind of forecasting in your business. And that is how you constantly get this happening, is when you make a projection and it either exceeds or doesn't hit that, and then you can look at what was the problem, how can we fix it, what wasn't hitting. But if you're not tracking it with proper UTMs, you're not going to be able to have that data. And then what you're going to be able to find out is some really key, interesting data about your different segments. So that is the reason we set up UTMs. So you can go from asking questions here and not having a really clear answer of it and then getting to this level. This level and that level is when you're getting into GTM setups, and actually GTM starts here, Google Tag Manager starts here, but it's always with it for each level. For you to get to this level, you need to do this level. This is really important. And this is where UTMs first come in. So trust me when I say what I'm teaching you here is a really good foundational step that later on down the track, when you've got your e-commerce store or your online education or your tourism or your holiday packs or whatever your business model is, you can look at your marketing calendar and do forecasts and answer some really top level questions. But every time we jump to a different level of data and understanding the behavior of your clicks from your online activities, it goes to that next level of plan. Audit what you're looking at, what you can see, what questions would you like to answer, this data doesn't answer it, what do we need to plan for, how do we build that, what do we think we're going to get, report, optimize, etc. And that's this level. So this is what you should be able to get to in this analytics training, is you should start getting into this, where you go from looking with a torchlight for information and insights to having the electricity on a home so you can see what's happening in the dark corners of your tracking behavior. And then, of course, this one goes to spotlight and this one goes to radar, seeing things coming in the future, and, you can see the data already trending towards what you forecasted to coming to reality. Anyway, so let's look at the tools. Now, the tools to build a UTM there's this one by Google, which is a campaign URL builder. It's a little bit different than what I've explained. They've got campaign everywhere, so that's going to confuse you a little bit based on what I've just told you. But the campaign name is this one, so product. This is brand, so Facebook. And it's not newsletter, it's MailChimp. This one will be email. Oops. Sorry. So if I go mail. Oh, no. Sorry. Facebook. Share. Oops. Share or CPC. Choose one, whichever one it is. We'll go share. And then it will go GTM. Oops. Basic. Setup. I'm just going to do it as one this time. Campaign term. Get better data. Campaign content. What did I say? Spyglass, computer, graph. And then down here you get that, and then you can convert it with a bit.ly link, and I think you have to go to your bit.ly login, and I'll pull this over and do the little small URL for you, which you can put in your LinkedIn profile. Behind your blog in your LinkedIn, or if you're doing a campaign in Instagram, you can put that link into your bio. There's another tool here. This one was I've kind of given you a little bit of an intro into this. This is a spreadsheet, and what it does is it gives you a little bit what you need to do for each of those elements. This gives you a little bit of a summary of what the purpose of each, and then it comes over here and it tells you it again. So you want to make sure your campaign or your product, your medium is what it is, whether it's share, email, etc. And then these are the platforms that you use to bring traffic to your website. And then down here are tabs, whether it's an email, Facebook, paid or shared, then your affiliate or Google. And anytime you want to add something else, you just duplicate and make sure you just copy the last one and then bring it over. And make sure you leave notes of where you've put this, so then if you go back and you check in your analytics that you've made a mistake, then you know exactly where that is so that you can go and optimize that link out there in the world. Yes, that's it. Now, the next one, the last one I'm going to review on how to do UTM building is this little baby. I'm still playing around with it and having a look around, and I kind of like it so far. You can invite people to it, so you can start it off, and then when you decide you can afford a VA, etc., or you can go paid and hire someone to do your analytics for you. Then you can come in here and you can set up your campaigns, your mediums, and your source, and then do these individually as you run a campaign. And then you bring up your templates, you create one, whether it's for email, and then when you go to do one, you can build it in here, and this has the bit.ly link behind it too. It's also got a Chrome extension, which I haven't played with yet. But I think if you're a little bit adventurous and like looking under the hood of a software, this could be something that you could definitely play with. And look, it's got to import your analytics parameters in there as well. So there's a way to pull in work you've already done. If you're further down the UTM trucking journey and you need to probably tidy up some of your parameters, then you can do that too in here. So yeah, that's about it. I would give it a little bit of a play and start small. Start with your emails. Start with your Facebook posts. And then before long, you're going to have some really cool data to look at. And even if you have a look at that data in your campaigns, and I wonder if you can do that. Just let me check that before I go, blah, you should do this with a segment over the top. Yes, you can. So you should do this with a segment over the top. And then you can have a look at the conversions here, your goals against your campaigns, against your segments. Oh my God. And the beauty of it is that once you do this once, come up here and save it as a report. So it's up here in your customized save reports. So as you go through these trainings and I tell you about these reports and you populate it in your analytics, save it. So then you can also send you an email once a week for the next 12 months so that you can have a look at your data, check the flicker, which is the little changes that happen in your traffic and your goals, that you can see, is my business growing? Is my marketing working? Is my LinkedIn working? Is my Facebook working? Then you're going to get some signs of life, some signals that what you're doing is actually working. And that is the best motivation you will ever receive to keep going, keep hustling, keep pushing, keep shipping, because your business is making a difference to the people that you are talking to. So that's UTMs. Start with the basics, build upon it, and before you know it, you're going to have a very full spreadsheet or a UTM.io. This one I wouldn't touch. It's good to play around with and see how it works, but you know, I would choose between those two to use to build your UTMs, and then do it religiously. If you do things consistently, they move the needle in your business, and nothing moves the needle faster than good, clean data. So if you have any questions, jump over to my Facebook page and ask me them there. I'm going to share this video on that page. So ask it underneath that video, and then that'll give me context on what you're talking about. So thank you for watching, and the next video training will be segments, how to build segments, because that's a really cool way to do some next level tracking in your reports, even if you don't have Google Tag Manager set up. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next training.